Like the legendary Portuguese explorers of the Age of Discovery, we are all participants in the greatest and most exciting human quest, the quest for knowledge. In the 10th century, that quest led our Chancellor's ancestors to found Al-Azhar University in Cairo. And tonight, it has brought each of us to this room from Asia, Africa, Europe, and North America. With values such as these in common, I am certain that we can help to increase understanding, reduce prejudice, poverty, and disease, and expand access to opportunity. Let us all set sail together and chart a course towards the better world we all wish to see. Thank you very much.
I have, let me tell you, a huge admiration for your community, Your Highness, and for your leadership. And I remember the conversations at the time when I was in the government with Nazim Ahmad and so many of your community. And there was two reasons I thought today before coming here why I respect so much your leadership. The first is that as a supranational leader, you have always been a bridge builder. And literally, I mean, you've built bridges, but you have really been one of these men that has built bridges to connect us all, and we need that today. And as a religious leader, I think that you have also something that always inspired me, which is this link that you always make in between spirituality and the problems of today. Spirituality and solving the problems that we have, from climate change to inequality. And that's extremely inspiring. And one day in one of your speeches, you talked about your idea of education. And you said that education is about equipping each generation to participate effectively, you said, in what you called the great conversation of our times. And so the question is that, what is that great conversation of our times? And the great conversation of our times is actually quite simple, is that how do you face these problems that we have in the world that are global, that are supranational, in a world that is more and more fragmented? And that discussion today, which seems to be discussing about multilateralism or discussing politics, is actually not about politics, it's about education. And about education in a world that has changed so much, but the educational systems didn't change. And you look at the world of that we were born, a world where everything was basically streamlined. Everything was about geography, about disciplines, about borders. And the world today is about intersections. And I think that that's where education should be. And that's where we haven't really made the case and the discussion about these intersections. How in a globalized world, with all these, can we retain somehow our humanity? And you ask questions about what you think about your children will be, about what you're going to teach and educate them. But the big question is, how do you create purpose for them? And I think that the answer to the question of purpose lies exactly in these intersections. Because these intersections are what make us human. Because machines will do most of the rest. Machines can have all the numbers and we can digitize everything, but we will not be able to digitize, at least to the point of singularity in the future, in our lives, these intersections. And I think that if we think about these intersections as a way of getting us to the future as better human beings that are complementary to machines and not something that machines will just replace you, then you have a vision. Your inspiration as a person, as a man, as a religious leader in education says it all. I was reading something that you said that actually is what I think. You said the deficit of knowledge is in many areas which are not being offered in education, because what have been inherited are curricula of the past, reflections of the past, attitudes of the past, rather than looking forward, asking what the future generations need to know. Thank you very much, Your Highness, for your inspiration, and thank you very much to all of you here tonight.